어서 오세요. 아, 오랜만에 뵙네요.
안녕, 시온. 우리 왔어. 잘 있어?
Yep, she's definitely a regular here. So I naturally asked Jian if there are any seats.
네, 항상 앉으시던 자리로 안내해드릴게요. 따라오세요.
날씨가 굳어서 그런가 허리가 찌뿌둥하네. 아,
I think I hear my knees creaking.
꽃 같은 나이에 젊은 아가씨들이 그런 소리를 하면 안 되죠.
I think Hobin's voice actor was a little too close to the microphone at that point. Oh, Mr. Hobin. The manager smiled and gave us the menu. His slightly flat hair from the damp weather gave him a different air. He really is hot.
안녕하세요, 점장님. 오늘은 직접 주문을 받으시는 거예요?
그래, 카운터에서 소희가 왔다고 해서 잠시 나와봤지. 이거 한동안 뜸해서 서운했었는데 오늘은 무슨 날이야?
Kind of trying to get rid of a stalker of mine. So I must really come here often. I don't know since when, but they treated each other as friends.
그동안 이것저것 바빴어요. 오늘은 안구 정화 겸 시험 대비 공부 좀 하려고요.
아, 그렇구나. 벌써 시험 볼 시기가 됐어. 졸업한 지 한참 돼서 잊고 있었네. 시험과는 동떨어져서 살다 보니 까먹고 있었어.
A life without exams. I'm so jealous.
시험도 젊으니까 즐길 수 있는 거잖아? 축 처지지 말고 기운 내. 오늘은 내가 특별히 케이크 하나 서비스로 넣어줄게.
진짜요? 신난다.
아, 참 점장님. 또 그렇게 멋대로... 이래서야 카페가 제대로 운영이나 되겠어요?
What makes you think that? Why would being given a rare, free gift make people think I'm not going to come back here?
시온, 케이크 하나로는 안 망하니까 걱정하지 마세요. 그리고 이 아가씨는 우리 카페 단골이잖아? 우리 장사는 정으로 하는 거 몰라?
그 정이라는 걸 우리 점원들에게도 보여주시면 좋겠는데요.
Oh, Tay! My eyes were blinded by the sight of Mr. Hui and Xian and Tay standing together. I heard girls gasping from all over the cafe.
아, 잔소리쟁이가 또 찾아왔네. 그럼 난 이만 가보지. 천천히들 놀다가.
시온도 주방에서 찾던데 여기는 나한테 맡기고 가보는 게 어때?
그래요? 그럼 부탁할게요, 태희군. 여러분, 그럼 저도 이만... 점장님! 잠시만요! 같이 가요!
카페에선 뛰지 말라고 해놓고 정작 본인이 뛰어다니는군. 자, 그럼 아가씨들 주문하시겠습니까?
헤이 선배.
So his heart was melting at what Tay said. The way he said order. It's so beautiful. Tay sometimes sounds exactly like Yuri. No, they don't. Is it because they share a room? Since it's raining today, I'll have a warm cup of tea. At seeing me be conscious of others and speak politely, Tay laughed with his eyes. I flinched a bit, but so I was again bewitched. After taking our orders, Tay disappeared behind the counter. Huh? My smartphone was constantly ringing. That's why you turn it on mute and vibrate. I glanced at it and saw multiple texts coming all at once. I don't have to look to know that it's Yeonho. I purposely ignored the phone ringing in my pocket.
그럼 이제 이런 말을 꺼내는 내가 싫지만 일단 교과서를 꺼내보자.
Holy shit, you're actually going to study? Also, Ellie might ignore the text. I ain't. You know, this one came at 3:03, this one at 3:21. Those are two. Those are 20 minutes apart, give or take. That's not constantly ringing. You are exaggerating, Ellie. It really is amazing that Soy just said that. I took it in my textbook just like the others did. Shinbi, your textbook is completely clean.
나중에 팔 때 이 편이 편하니까.
벌써 재택하는 거야? 역시 신비야.
Now I know what a textbook is to Shinbi. We opened our books, but we struggled from the first page. Soy focused hard, unlike her usual self. At seeing that, I studied hard too. We studied while sipping our drinks, and an hour flew by fast. No, wait here.
어디 가? 이 문제 좀 풀어봐. 그래도 우리 셋 중에 네가 조금은 더 낫잖아.
That doesn't sound like a compliment. Alright, I'll solve it after I come back from the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. And I took him out my phone that hasn't been ringing for some time. I'll just check the texts. I looked at the texts. Sure enough, all the texts were from Yeonho. I could almost hear his voice with every text. I'm feeling weak again. Should I call him? He seems to be really lonely. Did I leave him alone too suddenly? But I soon shook my head. The more I baby him, the worse it is for Yeonho. It's not good for him to depend on me too much. I thought for a moment and put my phone back into my pocket. But even after I went back, I couldn't stop thinking about Yeonho. Should I just call him?
연호?
Oh. Mr. Hobin.
방금 연호라고 했니?
Yes. Does he know Yeonho?
아, 혹시 그 병아리 같은 아이 말하는 거야?
Oh, yes, I am. But how do you know Yeonho? I was surprised that Mr. Hobin, whom I haven't really talked with, knew Yeonho. How does he know him? Maybe Tay talked about him? Just saying, you seem to not jump to the obvious conclusions. Oh, come to think of it, Yeonho often brought carrot cake. Is it the carrot cake?
지난 며칠까지 우리 카페에서 단기 아르바이트를 한 적이 있거든.
No way! That is such a surprise! What? Part-time? I was about to say if it was the carrot cake, but I stopped.
태희 군이 소개해줬으니 그럴 거라고 생각했지만 역시 다 아는 사이였구나.
Well, we do all wear the same uniform. Yes, I'm good friends with Yeonho.
그래. 그 아이가 아르바이트를 할 때 왔었다면 만날 수도 있었을 텐데.
Yeonho worked here? He already said that he did.
그래, 몰랐어? 참 똘망똘망한 게 일을 꽤 잘해줬어. 덕분에 정말로 많은 도움이 됐지.
By the way, are you still carrying those pots and stuff?
아참, 태희한테 못 들었어? 그 녀석을 데려온 것도 태희였는데.
Then I remember Yeonho used to come home late with Tae. He wasn't hanging out at the cafe. He was working? Did he work to buy carrot cakes? I remember the carrot cake he brought me every night and asked.
아니, 무슨 티켓을 사기 위해서 돈이 필요하다고 했던 것 같은데. 그때 받은 아르바이트비로 제대로 구했는지 모르겠네.
I mean, I don't pay my workers all that much money, actually. They're practically slaves. Tickets? I remember Jenna holding out 2 tickets at the amusement park. Sure enough, I thought the tickets were weird. They must have been pretty expensive. You would never have just given the money to Yeonho.
점장님, 전화 왔었어요. 급하다고 바로 전화 달라고 하던데요.
If it's so urgent, you'd think they'd ask you to bring him to the phone immediately and not call back.
아, 그래? 이것만 서빙하고 바로 그렇게 할게. 그럼 난 실례할게. 재밌게 놀다가, 아가씨.
점장님이랑 무슨 이야기를 한 거야?
Tay.
응?
Is it true that Yeonho worked here?
아, 점장님이랑 무슨 이야기를 하나 했더니
You knew from the beginning, didn't you? He says you introduced him? When I was wondering about the carrot cake and the ticket, Tay always gave me an odd smile. He knew the answers but didn't tell me.
너한테 비밀로 한 건 미안해. 하지만 연호가 간곡하게 부탁을 했거든. 널 깜짝 놀라게 해주고 싶다고 말이야. 하도 부탁을 하길래 나도 그렇게 하겠다고 했어.
Hey, it's not your fault that Yeonho is unfortunately about as intelligent as a bag of spinach. I'm not interrogating. I'm just upset that I didn't know. I can't believe Yeonho worked here and kept it a secret. I never expected it. It bothered me that he worked late just for me. I just troubled him. Did he want to go to the amusement park with me that badly? I felt sorry that I didn't realize that. And we didn't even have fun at the park. The merry-go-round wasn't fun. After work in that hall, all we enjoyed was the word merry-go-round. Although I felt sorry, I wondered about something. Why did he go through all that trouble to just ride a merry-go-round? I wanted to understand, but I couldn't easily nod my head. Was it just because I like merry-go-rounds? I don't understand the way Yeonho reacts to everything I say. I feel sorry, but I'm worried at the same time. Is it...
비가 오나 보군. 오후엔 그친다더니 일기예보가 틀린 모양이야. 여기까지 소리가 들릴 정도면 꽤 많이 내리나 본데?
I don't hear any rain. I checked my phone again. The last text came about 30 minutes ago. Is he still in the classroom? There was no way to know. Oh, if only you had a phone or something to text or call him with! Oh, whatever shall you do? This is such an impossible situation to rectify.
비가 많이 오나 본데 너 우산은 있어? 아침에 연호가 너랑 같이 쓰고 간다고 그랬었잖아.
Oh, come to think of it, I brought Yeonho's umbrella.
연호는 집으로 돌아간 거야?
I don't know, he had cleaning duties today. He might have gone back.
지금쯤이면 주번이라도 이미 끝났을 텐데.
I'll call him then.
그래.
It's dialing, but Yeonho's not taking the call. What's going on? I suddenly felt nervous. Sure, let's run after the guys because that's kind of what we have to do for this game. I feel nervous. I don't think he'd still be in the classroom, but there's no way to be sure. There was no way to know since he didn't take the call. But since the academy is closer to here, I should go back to the classroom.
야, 너 화장실 다녀온다더니? 어? 너 가려고?
Yeah, sorry, there's someone I have to be right now. I have to go first. Sorry.
야! 야!
See you tomorrow! So he called me, but I came out of the cafe. The rain poured so much that I could barely see. There was almost no one on the streets. I did have an umbrella, but I ran so my clothes quickly got wet. The people inside the building stare at me running in the rain. 'Cause that is the most interesting sight to see? Yeonho, you're not alone, are you? I was out of breath from running. My legs were covered in mud. I had no idea it would have rained this much. The pouring rain blurred my sight. I squinted and looked around. I saw a figure crouched down in front of the gate. I couldn't see probably because of the thick rain, so I went closer. That's not Yeonho, is it? Yeonho. It was Yeonho. He was sat still in the pouring rain. That sentence sounds a bit weird to me.
마스터,
I swear to God, the beginning of this melody always makes me think of Zelda's Lullaby.
마스터.
That is a creepy little smile you got there. Yeonho! I dropped the umbrella I was holding and helped Yeonho up. He wasn't just soaked, but his body was cold too. He must have been in the rain for long, the way he was shivering. How long were you here? You're completely soaked. I don't know what to say. His face was pale as a ghost and his lips were purple. I quickly laid my hand on his forehead. Even in this cold rain, his forehead was burning hot. A fever! I was more worried than accusing. I felt like crying seeing him sick. Crying is really not something you should do when someone's sick. It's not a very good, reaction.
마스터.
Let's go home and talk. Let's go home first. Huh? I helped Yeonho and tried to get a cab. He's small and cute, but he was bigger than me, so it wasn't easy helping him. He must have felt like fainting, so he completely leaned on me and breathed shallowly. A taxi approached us from afar.
올 줄 알았어요.
I knew you had no spine. I'm so happy. What?
마스터에게는 이제 제가 필요 없는 줄 알았어요.
What do you mean?
아까 혼자 가버렸으니까. 답장도 해주지 않아서 이젠 제가 필요 없는 줄 알았어요. 그래서 여기서 비를 맞고 사라져버리려고 했는데.
You can't disappear in rain unless your name is Nameless. Or your name is Eri, or one of the boys. Just disappearing in snow. You don't disappear in rain, you disappear in snow.
그래도 마스터가 올 줄 알았어요. 다행이다. 마스터가 나를 버리지 않아서 다행이에요.
Yeonho. Let's go home first, okay? Yeonho didn't say anything and just went into the cab. Yeonho still mumbled in the cab. Man, I get the weirdest driving customers. His fever is really high. Will he be okay? He was moaning painfully from the high fever. I've had high fevers and there was no reason to moan painfully. I came back home and found Lance and Red waiting for us. Yuri was out. The two hurried to get some medicine after seeing Yeonho all wet and almost unconscious. They did fight while leaving the room, but I'm glad they went to the pharmacy. Meanwhile, I dried him with a towel and laid him in my bed. Is your throat sore? Wait here. S-O-R-E, sore, painful. Not soar, S-O-A-R, which means flying. I stood up to get some warm water.
마스터,
I was about to get up when Yeonho grabbed my arm. Is he sick anywhere else? He's sick in the head, obviously. Is there anything you need, Yeonho?
추워요.
Oh, then, okay. We need to take our clothes off and rub our naked bodies together for warmth. I felt so bad seeing that I closed my eyes. Out of sight, out of mind! If I knew this would happen, I would never have left him behind. I regretted it again and again. I'll go to the other room and get more blankets. Wait here, okay?
가지 말아요.
His purple lips on his white face were trembling. I hope that the first thing you did was take off the wet clothes. Because that's one of the first things to do to prevent and, counter hypothermia. He was feverish, but his face was so pale. I got scared at seeing his face like that. This happened because I wasn't by his side. From now on, I have to stay by his side. All right, I won't go anywhere. I went up to the bed and was about to lie down next to him when Yeonho got up. His body was shivering and burning hot at the same time. My body almost felt cold beside his heat. I hugged him so that he wouldn't have to feel nervous. I'm not leaving. I wanted him to know that, even though I didn't put it to words. It's fine. His body in my arms was much smaller than I thought. He hugged me so hard I felt like suffocating. Yeonho... He's hazy from the fever, but he was still so strong. Where does this tiny body get such strength? No matter how hard I tried, Yeonho didn't let go of me. What is making Yeonho so nervous? The fear of abandonment, didn't he already explain that?
가지 말아요.
I put up with the suffocating feeling and let him hug me. I could feel his heart beating. All I can do for him right now is hug him. Okay, I won't. I won't go anywhere. I was careful so my voice won't treble when I said that. It was uncomfortable, but I didn't say it. I just let Yeonho hug me. Because being a love martyr and suffering for your loved one is definitely a good thing.
가지 마요. 나한테서 멀어지지 마요.
Okay, I won't go.
마스터, 가지 마요. 나를 버리지 마세요. 뭐든지 다 할 테니까. 마스터가 원하는 거라면 뭐든지 다 할 테니까.
Stop stalking me! It was uncomfortable that I didn't say anything again. Right now, I just wanted to let Yeonho do whatever he wanted. I felt like I was being punished for leaving him behind when he was so nervous. His cough is getting worse. I was worried, so I was about to peer at his face, but his arms caught my eyes. Huh? There's something on his wrist. That ain't his wrist, honey. That's his forearm. As I moved my gaze up his arm, I saw his shoulder, too. The marks starting from his shoulder to his wrist were scars.
전 몸에 상처가 많거든요.
These were the scars he talked about before. I'm sorry, but you bought him used. Okay. He was wrapped in a dirty cloth. Okay. You gave him new clothes. Doesn't it mean that you took off the dirty cloth and hence saw his naked body with the scars on it? The scars shouldn't be news to you. Not at all. So why are you acting so, oh my god, about it? Yeonho once talked about these scars as if they were nothing after he became human. Even when he was a doll, he had a lot of scars. So why are you acting so surprised about them? I knew that from the moment I opened the package that it contained them. But the scars on a doll's body and a human's body were completely different. I could see the scars screaming the pain Yeonho couldn't when he was a doll. And the scars were a bit odd, even considering that he's a used doll. Those aren't just accidental scars. It felt like someone purposefully gave him those scars. And they became more prominent once he became human. Overall scars were newly made ones. It was as if he was branded. Brands that anticipated Yeonho's nervousness were all over his body. What really happened with Yeonho and his previous owner? Yeonho... I wanted to cover the scars I saw. Don't look back on those painful scars. I won't leave your side. I wanted to tell him that. He was this hurt, and I was thinking of how I could get rid of him. Well, talking was obviously not the option, so clearly you have to abandon him. I was cold to Yeonho so that he wouldn't... You really need to, proofread that properly. I was ashamed of myself. I'm sorry I left you today.
마스터. 저를 잊지 마세요. 인형은 잊혀지면 버려지게 되니까. 나는 다시는 버려지고 싶지 않아요.
You are gonna feel so bad on Christmas. Yeonho.
착한 아이로 있을게요.
I covered him with the blanket carefully so he doesn't wake up. I felt bad to see him cough every now and again, even though he's asleep. You know, Yeonho, I heard you worked at Banjul. Tay told me. I don't care if it's something little. Next time, I want you to talk to me about things like that. Tell him when he's awake. I want you to live for yourself a bit more. If I can, I want to help you do that, so... Don't overwork yourself. I won't go anywhere. Yeonho, I can't understand you completely, but I'll try to understand. I'll try to embrace your heart. I forgot it was me who brought you. I was the one who chose you. I'm sorry.
마스터.
Is it already morning? Yeonho? I saw Yeonho's familiar face. His white round face filled my sight. Come to think of it! How do you feel? I abruptly got up from bed while remembering that.
다 나았어요.
Really? He looked much better than yesterday. But I wasn't relieved and I put my hand on his forehead. he didn't get surprised and back away from my sudden reaction. I didn't feel the heat I felt yesterday. Thank God. His fever's gone. Don't stand in the rain like that. I was worried.
네, 죄송해요. 그래도 기뻤어요. 마스터가 날 데리러 와줬잖아요.
That moment, I remembered the scars I saw on his body. I think the pain from his body continued to his heart. My heart aches thinking about his scars. That's natural. How could I not worry?
네. 그리고 다 들었어요.
응?
아무것도 아니에요. 아, 오늘은 그냥 계란이에요. 토끼 모양에 슬슬 질리셨을 것 같아서요.
You know, I think I'd be sick from just eating fried eggs every morning, doesn't matter what shape they are. I think I'm gonna start getting constipation if you don't give me better food, or more variation. Yeonho evaded and changed the subject. And I thought he'd grab my arm as usual, but he just stood there smiling. I feel like the strange air that surrounded him the last couple of days has disappeared.
그리고 앞으로
Yes?
앞으로 저 노력할게요. 마스터가 옆에 있어도 부끄럽지 않은 남자가 될게요.
What?
마스터가 절 생각해 주시는 건 좋지만 걱정을 끼쳐서는 안 된다는 걸 어제 깨달았어요.
Oh.
그 대신에 마스터를 위해 할 수 있는 일을 찾고 싶다는 생각을 했어요.
He seemed to have aged at least 5 years overnight.
일단 식사하러 오세요. 먼저 가 있을게요. 아, 그리고 버스는 계속 같이 탈 거예요.
Although he's suddenly acting like an adult, he still cares for me. Because once you act like an adult, you stop caring about everyone but yourself. I think Yeonho's more relaxed around me now. I feel a good change is coming. No, the change might have already happened.